everybody, I'm so grateful to have you here watching this video unfold. Today's video is going to be showing the process of crocheting a bat and a pumpkin in time for Halloween. Without further ado, let's just cue the time lapse. Hi, also just to update you, so I'm just currently about to begin on the 4th row essentially of the magic ring. This is what it's looking like so far. I'm super pleased with how it's looking so far, to be honest, albeit it does have a massive hole, well, quite a big hole in the middle, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. The bat might just have an injury, you know. Oh my gosh, it just came off my hook. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. There we go. Just continue on and just cue the time lapse for the next portion of the video. I just figured that I would mention as well, I've just realised the bat crochet actually also includes the pumpkin as well. So you have actually got some yarn for the pumpkin as well, which is really good to know. So you've got the yarn in the same kit as well. I bought this from Flying Tiger. I just thought it was worthwhile sharing this as well for those interested. What I've learned from being about to start row 7 is the fact that the instructions that are in the brackets for the pattern, where it comes up like this as an example, you only have to repeat the instructions in the brackets. So you don't have to repeat if it says 1 chain in the beginning, 1 CH, you don't need to repeat that 3 times, you just need to repeat what's in the bracket. So that was a little bit confusing when I did start doing this pattern. I will just check in with you tomorrow, hopefully, when I do pick this up again to continue some more. Hi, also, it's the 29th of September now, so this makes it the day after I just filmed yesterday. I'm just carrying on with the bat crochet, and without further ado, I will just cue the time lapse. Had to start over, so I'm just going to try to redo the bat crochet. I had realized that the crochet actually didn't look correct. Just on the last row I really realized it, and I was like, the stitches are going up the way, and it almost just looks like it's one big line of up the way stitches. It's not going around, you know, very neatly. And I was just going to jump on and just see if anybody can relate in these kits when you only get a certain amount of yarn and you're having to just savour every piece that you can get of the yarn, because you're just not given very much. I just really wanted to try to keep as much as I can without it getting really knotted. After watching the video for some help with how I do the crochet increase, I just noticed what I was doing wrong previously with this crochet before I undid the whole thing. So basically I was going into the center of the magic ring or magic circle and doing that for every single new row. What I should have been doing was going in to each new stitch that I made. That would mean that you would just be adding on from each new stitch as opposed to the middle, and then it just looks like a big donut or something. Just figured that I would share that with anybody, because I was just making the mistake of going in the middle every single time. Whilst it still adds height to the bat, it just combined all of it and you couldn't see the stitches. So just thought that I would let you know about this, and that was the reason for me having difficulties in doing it last time. It's October the 1st tomorrow. Okay, we're back. I just got some stuffing and the yarn as well. So without further ado, let's just continue on with starting row 14. Just going to add on the yarn next to join on for when we run out of yarn. So I've just finished the body in terms of the instructions. However, I have just got a bit left to do because I did accidentally double the pattern, so I'm just going to use the rest of the yarn until this is almost closed up. It's just looking like this. I've just left a bit above to add in the stuffing afterwards. I'm just going to move on to doing the ears and the wings now. This is meant to be the ear. I'm just going to see the size ratio. So this does appear to look okay for the ratio of the head of the bat, although this does just look like one big body at the moment. Whichever way round the head is, the ear does look fine compared to the size ratio. I'm just going to go ahead and do the second ear now. They are very similar. I think I just pulled this one a bit too tight. been a few days now since I last filmed. I'm just going to be doing the eyes for the bat and then hopefully sewing the bat together. I hope that the eyes do not look perhaps a bit funny or unproportionate to the rest of the bat's body and face. Now I shall try to attempt to put the bat together with using the stuffing provided. Let's see how this turns out. Just going to start by putting the stuffing in the body and head. So I've decided I think that this will be his body and this will be his head. It's coming together. It is bigger than I thought it would be. However, I'm happy with it anyway, so I'm just going to see how it turns out. I'm just going to decrease until there are only a couple of stitches left, and then I will just cast off. That's the body done. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now and possibly try to hide this when I put the ears on. Here's what the bat is looking like with the wings. I'm really happy with it so far. It is coming together. I have decided for the bat's eyes, I'm just going to actually take the double crochet out and instead just sew in the eyes by hand, because honestly, when I'm trying to make the eye out of this, because the instructions for this crochet aren't really spelt out as such in terms of how you sew the double crochet magic ring onto the bat, I'm just going to go ahead and just sew on the eye like the photo on the packaging, or as similar to the photo as I can. Time to put on the ears. The bat is finished! Super pleased with how the bat did turn out. I hope that you have enjoyed watching up to this point. I have really liked doing the crochet so far. I'm just going to move on to complete the pumpkin crochet, and I shall just show you how I get on with that in a moment. So now I'm just going to move on to do the pumpkin. So for a double crochet on the instructions, I will be doing a single crochet in US terms. So double crochet in UK translate to single crochet in US, if that makes sense. Without further ado, I'm just going to sit back, get to work and cue the time lapse. while, just thought I'd give a wee round up. So I felt as though I'm getting slightly quicker with doing the rows as time has went on since starting the back crochet to now. I'm averaging out around maybe 15 minutes per row, so I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest. I'm definitely just getting quicker, wrists are getting a bit more strength in them, you know. So the last pattern on row 9 that I just did, it was 1 chain followed by 7 double crochet and 1 increase times by 6. So then repeating the 7 double crochet and increase 6 times, as you don't need to repeat doing the chains each time, if that makes sense. Each time there's a repeat, if that makes sense. Just going to call it a day for now, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I hope that you are enjoying watching this video. I have certainly enjoyed documenting it as I try to crochet. Please do let me know if you plan to do anything this Halloween so that we can continue the conversation in the comments. For the 13th row, I'm going to be doing 72 double crochet. Just wish me luck to not be too tired by the end of this one. So now I'm just going to do 72 stitches for 3 more rows. I have just realised that I was meant to do a decrease in the middle of the 5 double crochets, and I've just went and repeated the same sort of pattern as before, whereby I've been asked to do increases. So I just haven't been used to doing the decreases on the pumpkin, so I'm just going to have to rewind, retrace my steps and just do the decreases now. I'm now back to the beginning of the row. I'm just going to carry on now, but including the decrease in and not an increase. I can tell you now, doing this is not as simple as it looks. It's not as tire-free as it might look to those who haven't crocheted before. It is an arm workout and a half. What I found when doing the decreases in this crochet pattern for the pumpkin is that in order to get this sort of texture on the pumpkin, you are being asked to do the decrease stitches in the pattern as follows. So for example, you will get asked to do in one row, it'll be 5 double crochet and a decrease. In the following row, you would then be asked to do 5 double crochet, 1 decrease and 5 double crochet. In the following row, you might then be asked to do 4 double crochet, 1 decrease and 4 double crochet. Each of these rows and all of the rows in the pattern would then be repeated 6 times in order to finish the row. I am super excited because I have just got a few more rows. There's only 3 more rows to do left of the pumpkin, and I will then just move on to doing the fill-in as well as the stem in the green yarn. It would appear that I do have slightly too many stitches. I did have the same issue before when crocheting the bat, and I just have a few too many. I definitely do not have 12 looking at this, so I'm just going to repeat the crochet pattern of doing a double crochet with a decrease for however many stitches or rows it takes for me to get down to 12 stitches. I've managed to get the pumpkin down to 12 stitches, so I'm just going to add in the stuffing now before I just decrease all round and then cast off. There we are, it's time to make and add on the green stem now. just going to finish off with the stem here. So I'm just going to be sewing it onto the pumpkin now. And then we are finished. So I've just put the yarn through the loop of where the last crochet stitch was. That's just made a knot here. I'll now just be adding this onto the pumpkin and using the long piece of the tail of yarn to essentially just sew it into the pumpkin. I'm actually so happy with this. The green stem did take me a few tries, I must say. So there was actually another row of the crochet pattern, which was for double crochet stitch and then an increase, and that was just to follow all the way around the stem. However, I didn't have enough yarn left to do that because I did use some of it previously when trying to do the stem. I found it to be very fiddly with doing this, as you know, smaller pieces of crochet are. I'm just going to sew it in now. I'm just going to add in a bit of the stuffing into the stem. Just time to sew in these now. And that is a wrap. So I am so happy, really over the moon that I have finished these before Halloween as well. So now I'm probably blending in with the background lights here. Yay, we're finished! So I'm super pleased with how both crochets have turned out, honestly, and I am just really glad that I persevered for around 3 weeks to a month of, I'll just put on the time frame of how long these two did take me. The last crochet video which I did post was this bag for another light-hearted crochet video. That one did not go as successfully as this one though, I must say. So that one was, I was even more of a beginner to crochet, and that was with using really chunky wool. So it was really nice to do some crochet with a lot thinner yarn. I hope that you have found enjoyment throughout watching today's video and that you have a happy Halloween. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I shall hopefully see you again. Bye!